Greetings. Well, today I just want to do a real quick broadcast and share with you the lessons that I've learned from two things that are challenging: scaling businesses and conquering mountains. And I'm going to talk about the shared traits that they have. And I will share with you a few beautiful pictures as well from my recent trip to Nepal. Let's go. So, the first lesson is make sure the journey is worth the effort and ask yourself, is it truly your vision? Or rather, is it truly my vision? If you ask yourself, is it in alignment with your values? So recently I went on a trip to Nepal and I went trekking. I didn't climb Mount Everest, but I was inspired many years ago, actually, when I was about 17, by this book, Four Against Everest. And it became a dream of mine to go trekking in Nepal. And actually, at some point, the dream sort of went to the back of my mind, and I didn't think of it for quite a while. And then something brought it back to the surface, and I started to do it. So I think, what does this have to do with your business? Well, when you go through growing your business, make sure that you stay with your original vision, or if your vision changes, then make sure that you do that consciously, not accidentally. All right. Here's a picture of me trekking in Nepal. This happened just in March. All right. And here's another picture. Here we're on Poon Hill, about 3,000 some hundred meters. And we were there to see the Himalaya mountains in the sunrise. And well, we had some clouds, but it was still phenomenal. The second lesson, oh my gosh, how important that one is one step at a time, because small steps add up. And I'm about to show you a picture that just makes that abundantly clear. And I invite you to start now and keep going. So for example, you hear me talk about knowledge management, and actually, what is the process for knowledge transfer in your organization, so you don't lose knowledge and you can use the knowledge that you have in your business and grow it, scale it up. So along the way, we have great experiences. We see beautiful scenery, so to speak, when we're talking about mountaineering, and there are great times in business. And then sometimes it also gets challenging. So here's another beautiful picture for Poon Hill. Now look at this. All right. This is on this trek, in a Pointer Base Camp trek. And you look and you see nothing but rock stairs all the way up. And you go, oh my gosh, I've already walked for hours and now I got to climb up all these stairs. And let me tell you, this trek has many, 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 many stairs. But the way I did it is by just, if I was that really exhausted, I would just focus on this one step, and then the next step, and the next step. And I would count to 20 and then another 20 in my mind, And by the time you counted to, 5 packs of 20 steps, that's 100 steps. Now you're already like up here someplace, or even higher than that. So all these small steps add up. So that's another important thing. So oftentimes people will, for example, not start with capturing knowledge that's critical in the organization, because they think it's like these stairs, so many. But in reality, the best thing, the smart thing, is to start now and just take one little step right here. And then fairly soon, another little step. And all these small but consistent steps are just adding up big time. All right, but then third, okay, so, oh yeah, I included this slide because you can see this mountain, but you barely see it. It's in the clouds. And that's often with the results of all these little steps. As we take a few steps, maybe we don't see the reward quite yet, or we start to see it. So that's what we do, by the way, is we make sure you see that reward as quickly as possible. And when we teach how to do this, we teach you how to build a minimum viable products, as I call it, something that you can already put to use and make money with and create impact with as soon as possible, so that you keep going. Because if you can't, it's human nature that if we can't see something happening, then we're discouraged. We may stop taking those little steps. And then that was just an emotional moment when we got to the base camp, because it was a lot of effort to get there, but it was a tremendous victory and just such a great feeling. I can't even begin to tell you, how that felt. I mean, just beyond words. And here we are at the base camp, and then the next morning we saw the sunlit Fishtail Mountain, Machu Picchu Peak, and many other mountains. But that was an amazing reward. And when we reach a certain milestone in our business, for example, a client of mine has grown his business by at least 50% in the first year of working with me, and now he's franchising, opening 2 new locations and franchising. So that's sort of this business equivalent of what I'm talking about here with the conquering mountains. Here's another close-up. And then lesson 3 is keep good company, because it's more fun that way. And you also get support and accountability, because it's easy to give up otherwise. Sometimes you need someone to maybe, lighten your load a little bit while you address your throbbing legs, or sometimes, just someone's humming, along the trail picks up, your spirits or something like this. And when you go together, you're not going to let the other people down, and so you're going to keep going. And so on our trip, so this is me here with that red, blue, black jacket, and my 2 friends, Deepak and Diwakar, who walked with me, and that was just such an amazing team. What great friendships. And that's what we do again in Brilliance Mining with our clients, whether we do it with them in a bigger capacity as their personal brilliance miner, or for knowledge transfer and making knowledge that's in your brain teachable, or whether that is where we teach you and then give you some coaching sessions to keep you moving forward. All right. And we had a porter as well, and his name's Harry. And here you see that this is the peak I showed you earlier. So here we're farther away, but at least now we can see the outline of it, unlike the one that was in the clouds. And then here's a close-up. And this was the first base camp we got to, Machu Picchu base camp. And that's really it. So there's 3 lessons. The first one is, let's go back here. Make sure the effort is worth the effort. The second one is 1 step at a time. And the third one is have good company. Don't do it alone. All right. I'm curious to hear what you think of this. And this is it for this broadcast. See you soon. Ciao.